Welcome to the unbelievable, large-scale, real-life exploration game, China Trips, from rookie to legend. Upon our 6 levels, you'll have to start as a rookie player and figure out your way to becoming a true China travel legend.
And this experience starts the moment you enter China.
Next.
哎，你好，吃了吗？
请问你想去哪儿啊？
北京、
还有呢？
上海、
还有吗？
里约。
你呢？你想去哪儿？
哦，太多了。I really, really want to go to 张家界 and 峨眉山、南京、乐山、沈阳、吉林 and
行了行了行了，你准备吃点什么呀？
我想吃火锅。
Oh my gosh, so much. I want to have 鸡爪 and 牛蛙、麻辣烫、烧烤。I want to have the spiciest hot pot. 你吃过最辣的火锅吗？ And
行了行了行了，你通过了。
Learn more. Pass or fail.
Learn more.
But don't worry, guys. It's not so hard to enter China. If you want to experience the charm and beauty of China, you should definitely visit the places Amy the Legend mentioned.
What should I prepare before coming to China?
Let's get back to the point. Do you see this big backpack on my back? When you come to China, what should you really prepare for? There are 2 kinds of preparation. One is real items, the other is virtual items. For real items, you need visa, passport, cash, plug adapter. Here you go. But most importantly are the virtual items. Actually, this video is here to show you that cell phone and internet are always going to help you in China. Downloading these apps will make your China trip incredibly convenient. Alipay, WeChat, Trip.com, Amaps, Didi. Here is a detailed list of items and apps we recommend you to prepare in advance.
How do I apply for a Chinese visa?
Okay, so before you get the process started, it may be helpful for you to know that China has several 24, 72, and 144-hour visa-free transit zones. And just to break it down, 144 hours is 6 days, so that's a pretty sizable trip. But if you need a regular visa for visiting more cities in China, that's where applying for a visa is going to come into play. So this is what you got to do. You want to download the application form from the China Embassy website, fill it out, make sure you tick the box for L, which is tourist visa. You also want to make sure that your passport has at least 2 free blank pages, as well as it's not going to be expiring within the next 6 months. Otherwise, you won't be able to apply for your visa. Okay, are you with me so far? Next step, you're going to want to go to your local Chinese embassy. You're going to want to make an appointment. You have to make an appointment for that. You want to hand in all your documents, wait 4 to 5 business days, and there you go. You've got your tourist visa. You're ready to come to China, and you have just graduated from rookie to beginner. catching bullet trains in China is my favorite. So firstly, you don't need to come and collect a manual ticket. You can just use your passport to scan and enter the station. Your passport is your ticket. Secondly, it is smooth and steady the entire way. There is no turbulence like you would find on a flight. And thirdly, you can order takeout on trains. I mean, enough said. It's life-changing. So if you want to buy a train ticket here in China, you can go to trip.com. You can download the app. You can also download the 12306 app. That also works. But if you want to come and manually buy your tickets, every train station will have a manual channel that you can come and buy your tickets by cash.
What are some great tips for taking flights in China?
Why is it me who's showing you the flight section? Well, check out my flight map over the past 6 months. If you haven't arrived in China yet, big cities with big airports like Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou are great choices. Oh, and don't forget to check your luggage allowance.
Why?
Because some people forget to check the extra luggage cost, like me. Also, I must emphasize your choice of clothes coming to China. The temperature gap here is extremely wide. In the winter, it can get from negative 30 degrees in Harbin to 20 degrees in the south in Sanya. So you must check the temperature before you arrive. Some Chinese people wear their thermal pants before they board the flight from the south of China to the north. Really, it's kind of a good choice. Anyways, when it comes to flight booking, I extremely recommend you to use trip.com. It's quite cheap.
How do I take metros in China?
Okay, so when it comes to cost-effective travel, you cannot go past the metro. I can travel from anywhere in this city for under 10 renminbi. And for example, I can travel from here to Xihu, the West Lake, and that would cost me around 65 renminbi in a taxi. But if I take the metro, for example, it would only be 4 renminbi, which I think is pretty good. And considering that often here in the big cities, there's a lot of traffic, it's often actually faster to catch the metro. So for me, often metro is the way to go. So if you want to try out the metro for yourself here in China, you can open up your Alipay, you go into transport button here, and it'll give you a QR code. You simply scan this when you enter a station and when you leave a station, and that's that. But of course, if you don't have the Alipay function, you can always go straight to a counter or to one of the little machines and pay cash to get your ticket as well.
I warn all of you guys, although most of the metro stations have public bathrooms, 99% of them don't have toilet paper. I have this friend, he had to go to the bathroom, no paper. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I don't know. In my experience, usually when they say I have a friend, it means them. Okay, so how do you catch a taxi in China? So if you arrive at an airport or a train station, you can simply follow the signs for the taxi queue. If you're on the street like I am here, you can also just raise your hand to hail a taxi. But when you get in a taxi, I would suggest you prepare a piece of paper with the name of where you want to go in Chinese, the address of where it is in Chinese, as well as maybe a picture or even a map on this piece of paper. That way they'll know exactly where to take you. So one thing you guys need to know about catching a taxi here in China, it's not so much about the destination per se, but about the journey along the way, because these taxi drivers, they are a lot of fun. 哎，你好。你好。你好。我想问一下，附近有没有比较好吃的、比较当地的菜？
有啊，都美食街里面很多的。
I always ask taxi drivers about where to go and eat as my first thing I do when I get to a new location.
我也有一个问题，就是如果一个不会说中文的外国人就坐你的出租车，他怎么可以告诉你他要去哪儿？
有时候他会上面拿一个名片过来，上面有中文的。
So I would really recommend that you bring along some material to help you communicate with the taxi drivers here.
And if you have a Chinese SIM card, you can just download an app called Didi, just like Uber. Put your destination and get on the car. Really easy.
What are you doing here? Didn't you just have diarrhea?
I'm better now.
Okay, that's good.
How do I read maps in China?
If you have an iPhone, just use Apple Maps. But if you want to find more local places, I highly recommend this plan routine function on Alipay, right next to the metro function. If you're proficient in Chinese, like me, you can try Gaode D2. Now that you've completed your understanding of China's transportation, trains, metros, taxis, flights, you've completed level 2 and have become an amateur.